AUS Open, Djokovic, Musetti. Shelton cruise into third round with easy wins. Melbourne, January 22nd, INS. Former world number 1 Novak Djokovic, Lorenzo Musetti, and Ben Shelton all clinched easy straight sets victories in their second round match of the Australian Open on the fifth day of the first Grand Slam of the season. While Djokovic defeated qualifier Francesco Maestrelli 6-3, 6-2, 6-2 at the Rod Laver Arena, Musetti overcame Lorenzo Sonego 6-3, 6-3, 6-4 in the opening session at the Margaret Court Arena. Shelton, also facing a qualifier in Dane Sweeney, registered a victory at the John Cain Arena with a scoreline exactly similar to Djokovic's. The 10-time champion Djokovic defeated his Italian opponent in 2 hours and 15 minutes, showing efficient movement and clean ball strikes throughout the match, indicating good form early in the tournament. The Serbian now stands one victory away from reaching 400 career wins at the Grand Slam level. A win against either Botic van de Zandschulp or Song Juncheng in the next round would see him become the first player in history to achieve the milestone. While van de Zandschulp famously upset Djokovic last year at the ATP Masters 1000 event in Indian Wells, Djokovic has yet to face Song. Competing at Melbourne Park for the 21st time, Djokovic is projected to face Musetti in the quarterfinals, with a potential semifinal clash against two-time defending champion Jannik Sinner. Musetti defeated his fellow Italian Lorenzo Sonego with scores of 6-3, 6-3, 6-4, achieving his best result at the season's first major tournament. The fifth seed generated 23 break opportunities, converting 6 of them. The 23-year-old Italian will now face either the 31st seed Stefanos Tsitsipas or the Czech player Tomas Maček. Shelton, meanwhile, handled the pressure of favoritism with ease, producing a dominant performance against world number 182 Sweeney. He took early control to win the opening set 6-3, then delivered a near-flawless second set, striking 9 aces and winning every point on serve in a rapid 26-minute 6-2 rout. Although Sweeney briefly competed in the third set, Shelton raised his level again, winning 5 straight games to close out a 6-3, 6-2, 6-2 victory. The American finished with 19 aces and 38 winners, and will next face 30th seed Valentin Vacherot. Menefin provides the information as is without warranty of any kind. We do not accept any responsibility or liability for the accuracy, content, images, videos, licenses, completeness, legality, or reliability of the information contained in this article. If you have any complaints or copyright issues related to this article, kindly contact the provider above. Melbourne in January has a particular rhythm. The sun rises early, the courts shimmer by mid-morning, and the sound of tennis balls cracking off strings echoes like a shared heartbeat across Melbourne Park. On a day shaped less by tension and more by quiet authority, Novak Djokovic, Lorenzo Musetti, and Ben Shelton moved through their second-round matches with the kind of ease that signals confidence, clarity, and intent. Different generations, different styles, but a shared destination, the third round of the Australian Open. This was not a day for drama. It was a day for control. Djokovic, the art of making it look simple. Novak Djokovic walked onto Rod Laver Arena carrying the weight he knows better than anyone, expectation. At the Australian Open, that expectation borders on inevitability. Over the years, Djokovic has transformed Melbourne into a personal laboratory, a place where he experiments with perfection and usually finds it. From the opening games, there was a sense that the match was being played on Djokovic's terms alone. His footwork was precise, his return surgical. He absorbed pace, redirected it, and calmly dismantled resistance point by point. The rallies were rarely chaotic. Djokovic doesn't thrive on chaos. He thrives on order, his order. What makes Djokovic so devastating in early rounds is not just his physical sharpness, but his mental economy. He wastes nothing. A break point is taken with the same seriousness as match point. A loose game is corrected immediately. His opponent, like many before him, found that good shots were returned, great shots were neutralized, and only perfection earned anything at all. The scoreboard told a simple story, but the deeper message was more ominous. Djokovic is settled. His timing is clean, his movement elastic, and his competitive calm intact. When he left the court, there was no fist pump for the crowd, just the quiet stride of someone who knows this tournament still belongs to him until proven otherwise. Musetti, elegance in full bloom. If Djokovic's tennis is architecture, Lorenzo Musetti's is art. On a nearby court, Musetti delivered a performance that reminded everyone why tennis purists speak about him with a particular softness. His one-handed backhand flowed like a brushstroke, his touch at the net felt instinctive, and his shot selection showed a player growing into himself. Musetti has often been labeled as a stylist before a strategist, but this match suggested a shift. There was patience where once there might have been impatience. He constructed points carefully, using heavy topspin to open the court before finishing with angles that felt almost unfair. What stood out most was his composure. Even when rallies stretched, Musetti didn't rush. He trusted his patterns, trusted his legs, and trusted that the opening would come. And when it did, he stepped in with confidence, not flash for flash's sake, but purpose. The Australian Open has not always been kind to players who rely on feel, especially on quicker hard courts. Yet Musetti looked comfortable, balanced between aggression and restraint. His win felt less like a surprise and more like a statement. This is not just a talented young player anymore, but a competitor learning how to win efficiently. As he shook hands at the net, there was a sense that the third round would not intimidate him. If anything, it might invite him to play even freer. Shelton, power with a smile. Ben Shelton's rise has been fueled by power, personality, and an unmistakable joy for the game. On this day, all three were on full display. From the first serve, Shelton announced himself. The ball exploded off his racket, drawing gasps and quick glances at the speed gun. But this was not reckless hitting. It was controlled aggression, delivered with the confidence of someone who believes, fully, that he belongs on this stage. Shelton's serve set the tone, but it was his all-court willingness that impressed most. He followed big deliveries to the net, attacked short balls without hesitation, and defended with surprising speed when rallies turned against him. There is still rawness to his game, moments where refinement will come with time, but the belief is already there. Perhaps most striking was his body language. Shelton played with a smile, with energy, feeding off the crowd rather than shrinking from it. When points slipped away, he reset quickly. When winners landed, he acknowledged them with restrained satisfaction. This balance, between excitement and discipline, is what separates a prospect from a threat. His victory felt like another step forward in a journey that is